What is up, A-Team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. So yes, we're here to talk more about XRP because the whole cryptocurrency market's going up, and so is XRP. And a lot of discussions have been said about where XRP's pricing is going to be. A lot of people want to know the predictions that are out there, and I think they're fun to talk about. And when XRP starts to rally, obviously more of these discussions are going to be had. But the big discussion out there is that where will XRP be when Bitcoin hits a certain number? As you guys know, CZ was talking about XRP or talking about Bitcoin getting to 1 million or 500,000 to $1 million at some point per Bitcoin. And a lot of people were saying, okay, well, if it gets to that, where will XRP be? I think that's a really, really good discussion to be had. But as you can see right now, at the time of this filming, it is sitting around here at $2.24. And this is actually looking really, really good over the last couple days now. You know, what the big discussion here was that right now, CZ did say this, speaking in a recent interview. And the big question was, where will XRP be? And for me, I think that XRP does have this is actually a really fair, probably the best price prediction out there is the $20 range. I do think that XRP could hit $20. And it says right here that Ripple's price is up about 292% on the 1 year time frame. And it is up really, really nicely right now, especially if you were buying back in November around the 50-cent marker before the election. You would have gotten at a really, really good price in XRP. And one of the good things here is that we're talking about for it to get to the $20 marker, there has to be some things that get basically put out there. The biggest one is the ETF. We know that here on June 17th, it got pushed back to June 17th, but we do know that's sort of the date of when the SEC is going to make a decision on what they're going to do with the XRP futures for an ETF, for a spot ETF. And I think that that's probably going to be one of the biggest hurdles to get XRP to the price of what we want here. And so when you actually go back and you look at the math of where XRP could go, a lot of people are saying that it could get to $20. I think people out here are kind of predicting that that's what it would do if Bitcoin were to hit 500,000 to $1 million. Some people think that XRP could actually do more. Some people are thinking in the $30 range based off of what they're sharing here. But in all reality, we're kind of hoping that XRP does do something like that. Because it said right here in 2017 and 2020, XRP tracked Bitcoin's parabolic surges with a bit of a lag. It said with the ETFs, clearer U.S. regulation, and a payment network expansion, this cycle could see a more closely synchronized move, meaning that when Bitcoin begins to rally, we're going to see a rally with XRP. And I probably would agree with that. And so people are saying that this $20 XRP is sort of the number that we get at here. But just realize that if it does hit the $20 per XRP marker, that is going to put it about a $1.2 trillion market cap. And as you guys know, if we go back and we look at where XRP is at right now, it's sitting about a roughly $131 billion market cap. So that's literally over a 10x from where it's at right now. We're roughly about a 10x from where we are at. So you know, again, saying Bitcoin sitting around $100,000 at the time of this filming, that would be about a 10x for it to get to $1 million, which would make sense that it would put XRP about a 10x as well, which would put it around $1.2 trillion. Again, some people don't believe that XRP is going to do that. Some people believe XRP will do that. And a lot of it has to do, like I said, with an ETF approval here. Obviously, there's a lot more legislative alignment that are coming in here. We're going to have a lot more of the stablecoin acts that are going to come through. We're going to probably push a lot more clarity for regulation. There's just so much more coming here. And as you guys can see, June 17th is the SEC's decision. So we'll find out really soon here, probably roughly, I don't know, a month from now, as to what the next steps are going to be for this ETF stuff. We do know that Donald Trump is excited about crypto. Obviously, he wants to keep pushing crypto. So that is in the corner of XRP and a lot of these other cryptos getting to the levels they want to go to. You can see right here that some people are saying that XRP could hit the 637 by 2025 and maybe even here at the $30 mark for, I guess, more people who are optimistic about it. And, you know, that very well could happen. We don't know. That's one thing we don't know. We can sit here and project all we want about where we think it's going to go, but we can't sit and say that XRP will probably continue to rise in value based off of just the hype around XRP, what XRP is trying to do. And I think there's just a lot of excitement with XRP. I go back and I look at pricing here, and right now you can actually see we're on the day chart right here. The RSI is at the bottom of the day chart, but we are rallying up here. My levels right now are, I want to see it get past 255, just because that's sort of more of a psychological level here. You can see there's a lot of volume sitting right here. So getting past this 255 marker is the big one. But I've always said this before, I want to get to the 385 to the 450, which then will get us to the next level of 701. So 701, $7.01 has always sort of been my number that I want to see it get past. And I definitely think that that's a reasonable number in this bull run is $7. Some people are, like I said, are calling for $20. But I think that we don't know when XRP is going to hit $1 million. That $1 million mark that CZ is talking about It could be 6 months from now. It could be 2 years from now. But we do know that if you go back and you look at the history of Bitcoin in general, that Bitcoin continues to go up in price, and it'll have its ups and downs. It'll always seem to have its up and down. Here's the overall map of the life of Bitcoin, but it continues to go up. And so at some point it will reach 1 million. And so when it does reach 1 million per Bitcoin, where will XRP be? And that's kind of the discussion. So $20 does not seem unreasonable to me. I think that's actually a valid price prediction. Some people are really extreme and over the top, like 10,000 per Bitcoin, 1,000 per, or sorry, 10,000 per XRP, 1,000 per XRP. And those seem a little bit extreme for me. But I mean, I think this $20 mark is really not that bad. That'd be roughly, like I said, from where we're at right now, it'd easily be a 10x. And I know that's not sexy for some people. Some people want it to be more than that, and I get that. Some people want more money in their pocket from where they bought it. But a 10x is a 10x on a blue chip crypto like that, I think personally is a really, really good return. But to some people, not so much. But just realize that no matter how you look at it, there's a lot more positivity coming to the markets than we realize. I mean, these ETFs changed the whole game for Bitcoin. And some people think it's added more volatility to Bitcoin because there's a lot more price manipulations. Just realize there's going to be a lot more volume coming in when XRP gets an ETF. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things out here. I get that there's going to be legislation. I get that there's going to be a lot more motives behind it, maybe more institutional stuff. But just realize the ETFs are like the number one thing that we want to see come into this space, especially for XRP. Any of our cryptos that we're in, we want to see ETFs kind of go that way. But again, looking at the numbers here, I think that we're really, really close to reaching back into the 255. We can get back up into the $3 range and continue to rally this up. If we go back, I like to look at the weekly charts here. So this is the day chart. The weekly is looking really, really nice. You can see we're down here on the weekly, and this is like a nice little, this is actually a flag. This is like a bull flag right here that we're seeing. And when's the breakout going to happen? And when you go back and you look at this RSI right here, we're on the weekly, we're down at the bottom right here. And last time we were at the bottom of this weekly, we were back over here in November when this thing rallied. So we are in a really, really good spot. I continue to say this, and I'll probably always say it until maybe I feel otherwise. Like XRP has the most bullish chart in crypto right now for me. It's been really easy to read for the most part. I mean, it hasn't dropped really below $2 more than a couple times, and it's been easily an easy day trade chart, which again we can see. Our day trades are up here, and in all reality, I think this has a good opportunity to rally back above an all-time high and continue up to the numbers that we think up here, the 385, the 450, and then hopefully into the $7 range. Some people might call me crazy. Some people say that I'm a little, I'm pushing the numbers a little too hot there. Some people think that I'm pushing XRP too hard, but I just believe in what XRP is trying to do here. And I think there's a lot more behind XRP than people realize. So, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know your thoughts down below on where you think XRP's price prediction would be. And I want to know, where do you think XRP's price will be if Bitcoin hits 1 million? People are saying $20. Some people are saying $30. Some people are saying more. But I want to know what you think if Bitcoin were to hit $1 million at some point. Again, it doesn't have to be today. It could be 2 years from now. But where will XRP's price be? I want to know. So please put down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And with all that said, we're out. Peace out, everyone.